Hi guys, this is Ryan from Army of Saints Martial Arts. This is the DVD class series for Class 5, Week 5 for your martial art program, doing self-defense with the students. Basically, I just want to go through and go through the same portion of the martial arts, the cardio, the strength, and the meditation piece. We'll do this quickly, and just feel free to review this video as many times as you need to before your class. We also do Class 5 and Week 5 and Class 6 and Week 6 for the next one outside. We do it outside just to remind people that they can run these programs from anywhere. You don't need to be inside a gym, a gymnasium with all sorts of different equipment and whatnot. You can do this from anywhere with relatively nothing, all right? So we're going to start with knees today. The topic of the martial art for the Week 5, Class 5 piece will be knees. So in the martial art, the first thing we're going to teach is one of the castle stances. Castle stance is keeping out any side of attack from coming from your opponent. And so what we call this is knee to elbow. So my knee just rises up, touching my elbow like this. This is a great entry for when somebody's coming in with a roundhouse kick or somebody's coming in with an attack, to just drop in like this and then to go ahead and advance whatever you're going to do next. So this first drill is pretty simple, knee to elbow, and just practice what that is like covering inside. So you'll see right like this. So I'm covering in, and this is covering, and when you're doing it, you should point the toe just a little bit to your outside. So I'm not pointing straight forward. If you're going to be technical, you're actually doing it like this. And that's just a block stance, okay? Knee to elbow. As for actual knee strikes, the most powerful and probably the best to start with for students is the rear roundhouse knee. So you're coming out, again, good fighting stance, and you're coming out, swinging around and extending the knee like that. You're using your hips more than anything else, okay? So you're actually coming out just like that, okay? This is a good strike to angle up under the rib cage, or to go ahead and go on the soft part of the outside of the leg, okay? Because it will go ahead and hit somebody, you know, right there on that Charlie horse spot, and that's what causes somebody to break down, lose their stance, and ultimately not be able to stand back up and fight. So coming out just like that, thrusting the hip, okay? Right from the rear. And make sure you're following all the way through, and that this foot on the ground should actually be turning when you throw it out, okay? This foot shouldn't be immobilized. It should be swiveling as you swivel around, okay? We also have what we call the jumping knee. Jumping knee is just from the front. It's a sneaky little attack. It usually, for street self-defense purposes, to go to the groin. Same thing, hands up, and you're just popping forward like that. Generally, if you're going to do this, it's better to throw a hand strike out first as a little deception. So I go like this, like I'm going to do a palm heel jab or whatnot, and I'm coming out like that. And when you do the slipping knee, the front knee sprint we call it, it's pulling your body forward. So you see the rear leg is being dragged off the ground when I pop forward like that. All right, it's meant to be a very fast little deceptive strike, usually in the street, aimed at the groin, okay? Other things we're going to be doing, the rear straight in, same thing, coming from the rear and just going straight in. This is generally also a groin strike, and this is also done with a clutch, where if you have somebody else, you're clutching around their neck, have strong fingers like claws going around the back of their neck, and driving straight in, okay? So again, from here, you're clutched, and you're essentially looking to go to the abdomen and to drive the knee up into the solar plexus, or if it's in the street, the groin. And so straight in just like that. Again, everything is coming with a thrust from the hips, okay? So you should be feeling it in your whole body, okay? And we're also going to do flying knees. Flying knees are something that have gotten really popular in mixed martial art. They look really fancy. We don't advocate doing flying knees in the ring setting, in doing a mixed martial art fights, because it's a good way for your opponent to try to take you down. We don't really advocate it on the street either, because it's a great way to fall to the ground in the street, and you never want to be on the ground on your back in a real street fight. So, but nonetheless, we teach it because it is a knee strike. And so what this looks like is you're coming off, and the leg you push off with is the same leg that will do the knee. So you're, in a sense, if you have your right leg forward, you're pushing off with the right, and you're coming up and you're kneeing, and generally this is something you're looking to, again, clutch the neck and do a knee to the face. It's a very high knee strike. It's relatively risky to do if you're in a mixed martial art match, because once I'm all the way off the ground, right at that point, when I'm both legs off the ground, if somebody has grappling skill, they will take me to the ground very quickly. And in the street, it's certainly not a good move to do, because you never want to not have solid footing on the street. So, but nonetheless, just to teach it, you'd be in the clenched position, have your elbows together, fingers wrapped around your opponent's neck, and you're jumping all the way up, and you're trying to either go straight to the stomach, or if you're down, crouched low enough, straight to the face, and doing that jumping knee. We're also going to do a quick introduction to parries. Parries are basically, instead of doing the old school block system like that with closed fist, it's open hand, and so when your punch comes at me, I'm intercepting with just a little push out of the way. So the same way we hit with open hand strikes, it's little open hand blocks, okay? So if I'm sparring, it's just going to be a quick open hand push, and you don't need to push the person's incoming strike far out of the way, just a little bit to clear just enough to the outside of your face. So if somebody's strike is coming in here, I shouldn't be blocking all the way out here. It doesn't make sense to be moving it anywhere past my shoulder, because once that strike is coming past my shoulder, it's not going to hit me. So don't get in the habit of making these big awkward movements. It should be very short, and you can also work by putting your body out of the way while moving your hand to the outside, so you have opposing directions, just like that, okay? So just work on what it's like to have a sparring partner throw a jab or palm heel, and see what it's like to just get out of the way and start blocking open hand. Always tuck in the thumbs for open palm strikes. Next, we're going to go through our cardio portion. Our cardio portion is going to be what we call everlasting tees with squat sets of 50. This is something you'll do for about 20 minutes, and essentially it's just your arms out. You can start out like this, but the real way is actually palms up, okay? And you're just doing squats, and you're actually, some people will go 20 minutes continuously, other people will do sets of 50, and when you do it, you shouldn't be leaning forward. That's a bad squat, leaning forward like that. You should be having your bottom stick out, and you should be able to do it as if you're in front of a wall, and a good way to practice is actually do it in front of a wall, so it doesn't allow you to cheat and bend forward. And you're just going like that, keeping the arms out, and you're doing that for roughly 20 minutes, and that will be your cardio workout. Another thing, reminder with squats, we never bounce down and come back up, because that's cheating. We do it controlled, so control down, control up, nice and slow, all the way, full range of motion. That's the cardio portion for Class 5, Week 5. As for the strength, we're going to do some chest work, okay? For the chest, we're going to do the incremental press. We're going to do dumbbell flies, and we're going to introduce the 3-minute push-up very quickly. The chest press, we're going to do it right on the ground to show people you don't even need a bench. We get a lot of calls from places saying, well, we want to do the strength portion, but we don't have all the weightlifting equipment. All you need is a couple dumbbells to do the chest portion. You really don't need, and you can do it right from the ground, actually, just throwing a couple towels on the ground. So all you're going to do is take 2 dumbbells, okay, and you don't have to start with a lot of weight. Form matters more with strength training than the raw amount of weight, okay? And you're just going to go to the ground like so, okay? And from here, you're going to have going up halfway, holding it, going up 2/3 of the way, and when you go all the way up, immediately come back down. So I'm always holding tension. You never want to hold it up like this and rest, because that would be cheating because your arms are fully extended. Always leave a bend, okay? And down, and you go just enough till your elbows touch, half up, 2/3 up, all the way up, back to 2/3, down, all the way down, right to when your elbows touch. Never hold it like this and rest with the elbows on the ground. That would be cheating, okay? And same thing, half up, 2/3, all the way up, and hold it again, hold it at the half, and you'll just continue that until you reach whatever amount you're going for. As for dumbbell flies, now all you're doing is holding them straight up like this, and you're angling it such that you're going all the way down till you touch, and all the way back. And these are your dumbbell flies. Some people, if they're feeling lower back pain and you feel like the small space between your back and the ground is hurting, you can put your knees up like this. That will take care of that. And you're just going down just like that. Also, when you do it, you can hold it in position. So you can stop half, go all the way down, come back up, hold it at half, come all the way up, stop at half, all the way down, stop at half again, all the way up, and again, you're just looking to breathe out. Every time you go up, you're breathing out. Every time you're going down, you're breathing in. So exhale, inhale, and just work on that, getting up to 12 or 15 reps in different sets. Also, the 3-minute push-up. The 3-minute push-up is relatively simple. Something a lot of the military used to do and start a while back, and it caught traction, and because it's a great way to build strength with nothing but your body. And instead of doing a whole bunch of fast push-ups in repetition, you're just going down, and you're going to, again, hold it half, and you're going to hold for about 1 minute. After 1 minute on the clock, you'll go down all the way. This will be your 2nd minute. When you're down all the way, you don't want to obviously have your knees down. You don't want to be resting your chest on the ground. You want to be holding it so that you're just about 1 inch off the ground, keeping your head up. And then after the 2nd minute, you'll go halfway back up for the 3rd minute. You should see this shaking. You want this shaking. It means that your body is now forcing to build more muscle. And then you'll go all the way up at the end. So again, starting up with the back nice and straight. Okay. Down halfway, 1 minute on the clock. All the way down for the 2nd minute. Halfway back up for the 3rd minute. All the way up, and that is 1 full set, just that, and you'll do usually 3 or 4 of those. And that will conclude the strength training piece. There's one final piece we will introduce with the Tai Chi Press. The Tai Chi Press, this is something we introduce as a very soft, gentle style for the meditation piece. For the meditation piece this week, for Class 5, Week 5, you don't need any equipment. You're going to get in a nice wide stance, toe to heel. You're going to have the arm out such that it's, you know, halfway between going straight across your body and straight outwards, that it's on a 45. You're going to have your back angled, so you're not up erect like this, but you're not slouched either. You're on a straight line coming off the ground like this. If this is the ground, this is your back. And what you're going to do is you're going to practice the Tai Chi Press. A punch is coming in slow. You imagine pulling it in, turning with the waist. My waist turns, 30% of the weight here, 70% of my weight here. and then press back out. Again, catch. And when I press, it's the rear hand, open palm, right on the inside of the wrist. And you will press, and you will inhale, exhale, and when I do this, my whole body moves together. My whole waist moves back, I turn, and then watch closely. My whole waist moves forward, and when you finish, your knee should never be over your toe. It should always be just lined up. You should never have your knee over like this. That's not good practice. And this is a meditation piece where you forget about the movement after a while, and it becomes more about the breath work. Okay? Breathing in, out, in, out. And when you press, keep the shoulders extended. You never want to be bunched in like this. Always extend. So not with your shoulders kinked up like this. You want to be nice and relaxed shoulders. And just see what it's like to keep your body fluid for 10 or 15 minutes and focus on the breathing. After the first couple minutes, you forget about the movement you're doing and it all becomes about breath work. Put your weight all to the back, come forward, put your weight all to the forward, and every time you come out, this should be straight, this rear leg straight. So same from the other side. You can see that the rear leg should be straight, okay? And that's something, even if it's tough to get good form in the beginning, but it starts to match for meditation purposes your body movement with your breath work. And they're two very separate things for students in the beginning. Over time, eventually, your body work and your body motion is going to match your breath work. It will take a while to get up to that, but that's the goal. That's your goal. And you'll do that for about 10 or 15 minutes to begin. And then learn how to do it on both sides too, so you can see what it's like to be in the stance on either side. Okay? That will conclude Class 5, Week 5 for the martial art portion. Thank you.